But
so welcome to the All In, All on X podcast. We are here in the great halls of Montezuma somewhere, Phoenix, Arizona, at the AAID 2025. And I run into two friends here, Michael Keating. Keeter. No, I'm kidding. No,
Keeter, Keating.
We were all okay. Let me start over because I was going to go with the joke on it, but it was an inside joke, so nobody's going to understand this. So here we are in the halls of Montezuma in Phoenix, Arizona, at the AAID 2025, and I run into two friends, Michael Keeter and Julieanne O'Connor. I love the way that rolls off the tongue.
I'm sorry.
And
O'Connor is the worst last name, by the way, because nobody can put an apostrophe into a computer system. So nobody can find me. I show up to hotels all the time and I'm like, yeah, you're not in the system.
You're the invisible person?
So
is this been traumatizing you?
It has
Is this
been.
a trigger?
It's really annoying when you can't get to your car rental and you're in a hurry.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
So anyway, so here we are. We've been trying to kick off this podcast for like 30 minutes, but they just keep on seeing people that they know. You're very two popular people. Dare I say you might be influential?
Wow.
That is not the way I would describe myself.
Would that be a word? No? Not?
It would be a word.
Possibly.
All right, fine.
Because okay, so we're mad libbing now because we saw each other for coffee. We decided we're going to do a pod. So just going on the spelling it is your Instagram page. Your biography on spelling it. I help high achieving hashtag dentists /CEOs. CEOs is not hashtag, so is it relevant? I don't know. To leverage their influence, best-selling hashtag author, award-winning actor, TED speaker, #1 Super Bowl commercial. I want to hear more about that. Influentialdentist.com. That's quite an amazing biography. Do you want to tell us about your Super Bowl commercial?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. So the Super Bowl commercial was actually kind of a fluky, funny thing. If you live in LA, you act. That's just something you do as like a side gig for fun because you're in LA. But I had a couple of friends who produced a commercial and they entered it into the Crash the Super Bowl competition. And we green screened it in my front yard, used my brother-in-law's dog, and had no idea that it would become a thing. I mean, it was literally, we had our neighbors helping us with producing the commercial. But needless to say, it became a huge hit. It won $1 million. USA Today Ad Meter ranked it as the #1 spot of Super Bowl, and it's aired every year pretty much since as one of the top Super Bowl commercials. So we didn't know that that's what was going to happen, but yeah, that became a thing. So,
and we can find this commercial somewhere on your website.
Yeah, you can Google it. It's it's called Doritos Pug Attack.
I think I do remember this. What year?
Yeah. 2011.
11? Oh, I thought it was further back than that, but I think I remember this.
No, you just think I'm older than I am. So what's going on here?
No. For the record, I know she looks not a day over 29.
Oh,
Maybe
love him.
Maybe close to 30.
That's why he's one of my favorite people.
So that impromptu commercial made $1 million. This is an impromptu podcast. Dare I could possibly make $1 million?
I think there's a way. I think we need to spin it, and we're looking for some really high level sponsors because we only work with the most influential. So for your podcast, they got to be high level.
The name of our company is Influential Dental. So
Tell us about you, Michael.
Yeah, so I'm the co-founder and president of Influential Dental with my dear friend Julieanne O'Connor, who I met many years ago when I was with an implant company, and she was doing amazing things at an implant center, and we hit it off. And as you know, Julieanne, she's a very nice person and very open. And I said, you know what, this is somebody I want to work with, and here we are.
I paid him to say that, by the way.
No, not at all.
Perfect. I feel like I've known you guys forever, and especially Julieanne. Your life basically started when you reached out to me on Instagram. Let's be real, for the Influential podcast, right? Which was about 6 months ago. Yeah. The beginning of your life. Whatever happened before that doesn't really matter.
It's like my mom said, life begins at 40, and I say life begins when you meet Dr. Hogan.
We didn't even script that. That's absolutely right. That's true.
It's the truth.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
But to take the listeners back, I get a message from you on Instagram about 6 months ago. Hey, you want to be on the pod? And I'm like, who? But I'm like, also, everything happens for a reason. God puts things in motion for a reason. Nothing is by accident. And I'm like, yes, I don't know who you are, but yes, let's do this. And then I met Michael.
Yes.
And we had this podcast that made me feel like I've known you for decades.
100%.
You feel the same way?
Yep. 100%.
How do you do that to people? And do you do this to all men?
Oh,
I can edit that.
Are we going here?
No, you should edit.
No, oh, wow. That's really, I feel like that's the highest compliment that I've gotten.
How do you get people to connect with you so well?
I don't even know. So usually, like what my husband would say, and also Michael, a lot of times is he'll look at like a man that I'm talking to that I've just newly met, and he'll say, "This is the part where she makes you cry." And so
you're going to start crying here in a matter of minutes.
I'm not going to cry, Maury. I'm not going to cry, Maury.
So typically people don't say that, but or if they say that, I'm so grateful. I find it really interesting. I'm so fascinated by human beings. I'm so intrigued, and I feel like you and I are just scratching the surface. Even though we feel like we're so connected, I feel like there's so much to learn.
Yeah, that's
exciting to me.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to get to know you better.
Well, you've gotten to know my wife and I. We're just scratching the surface the last few months. And by the way, full disclosure, my wife and I have hired you as a coach for our businesses.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's a lot in there to get out and to learn from, or at least validate maybe what we're doing at the very least. But we've had a few meetings with you, and I'm coming here to Phoenix, and Allie says, "You're going to see Julieanne." Julieanne, let's say Julieanne. Okay, it's like it's polite.
I love it.
Julieanne. And we're going to see her, and she says, "How long have you known her?" And I go, "God, I think forever." I'm thinking in my head, like when I met you 10 or 20 years ago. And then I'm like, what? I don't think I physically have met her yet.
Yeah, come to think of it,
I had a brief 2-minute or a hello.
Maybe in San Diego. Yeah.
But maybe 2-second hello in San Diego.
I think it was about maybe a second and a half. And you're right. And Allie, by the way, okay, so Allie, I feel like I've known also. So she's another one. So, talk about a genuine superhuman.
Yeah. And amazing and intelligent and beautiful.
And
the best woman overall, hands down.
And I haven't met you, Allie, but yes, you are all.
There's a lot of reasons why he's probably saying that. Okay. But the reality is she really is all of that. She is a superhuman, and she's just really an inspiration. So I feel like when I work with people, I'm so lucky because I have a mirror in front of me of, we're looking at each other, and I have so much to learn from the people that I'm helping as well. But she's really special. So.
Oh, for sure. I don't even know, this isn't about me, but I'll get more into that in another episode, probably.
Yeah.
I know you're just delving into that. But your history, you've been a coach. So I mistakenly thought, and we went through this at coffee an hour ago, that somehow I knew, Michael, you were at Nobel. Correct. And you were in education and teaching at Nobel.
Correct.
Somehow I thought that also transferred into sales, but you weren't in sales.
I was in sales.
Oh,
I was with them, for over 16 years in sales and product development and training education, and then met Julieanne when I was at Nobel.
Yeah, he worked in the executive team in training and education for a period, and that's how we kind of got to know each other.
Okay. And by the way, every time you say Nobel Biocare, you can Venmo us $2.50. So keep us. No, seriously, if you want to.
You guys, just sponsor him. Really. I'm on your team, so we're on his team.
Is a KOL for them and many other companies too, by the way.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. We'll get more into that in a second. So
okay.
I assumed you were working in sales at Nobel, but
that's so fascinating.
You've been a coach your whole life.
Well,
basically.
Maybe not my whole life. I was probably being coached at one point, but I've been a coach for a long time.
All? Coaches need coaches.
I have a coach, so I couldn't live without my coach.
So. People ask me all the time, do you still get consultants and I consult for people on their practices, but I still will hire consultants.
Absolutely.
Do you find yourself doing the same thing?
Yeah, absolutely. Because we all go further together than we do alone. And I think, people try to be their own lone, whatever superhero, but really you're going to always go further together if people are genuinely committed to what they're claiming that they're committed to.
So how did you go into the realm of personal and professional coaching?
Oh my word. Here we go. So I was faced sort of with a life or death thing when I was pretty young. Like, I was told I was going to probably get cancer and die from what was the contaminants that were on the property that I grew up on. So everything was contaminated. And we found out when I was, oh gosh, I don't even know, 19?
19.
Yeah. And so like the air above the soil.
But a state expert or an environmentalist came in and said,
yeah, everything got, our house, which my father had bought an old Rocketdyne test site where they tested rocket engines for like the Apollo and Gemini mission. So, I mean, legit. And we had tunnels underground. It was a very strange place to grow up. But even the other homes in the area were all contaminated because it got in the water table. And our air above the soil was contaminated for like 2 inches above the soil. So it was serious. And my father had dropped dead at that point from lymphoma. But anyway, when I got that news, I set out on a mission to find out what builds a meaningful life. So I asked everybody, what's the secret to a happy marriage? Everybody I met. And then eventually I was like, what's the secret to a happy career? And so at a certain point, you start seeing patterns in human beings and human behavior. It's just so obvious what the 1 in 10 who are having fun are doing different from the 9 out of 10 who complain.
right.
And I didn't set out to be an author, but I put it in a book because I was like, somebody needs to put this in a book.
What was the title of the book?
Spelling It Out for Your Man.
Spelling It Out for Your Man.
Well, that's an interesting.
Now we've really gone here.
All right. And how old were you when you titled this book?
I titled it early, but then I didn't actually publish it until I found a publisher when I was with my husband.
Was it before or after you met your husband? You wrote.
After is when I actually finished it, and because he became my male counterpart on it. Like I could fact check with him,
Yeah.
and so men are my biggest followers with the book because I get to the point quickly. But it's really
all men really want is like, tell me how to get there, right? Just tell me where, where. Okay.
Yeah.
What do I have to do?
Right.
And they're like, if you just did I don't even know, but just do the thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that what the book looks like?
Yes, it's pretty straightforward.
Can you take our listeners to the point?
Oh, well, no, they need to read the book.
Now on Amazon.
Yeah, now on Amazon you can find Spelling It Up for Your Man.
Spelling It Out for Your Man.
Now I have to sponsor this thing. But anyway, yeah, so that was my first book. I ended up writing, yeah, exactly, business books and some different things. But yeah, it was really based foundationally. And then people were asking me constantly about that secret and trying to get my support and help. And I knew I didn't want to coach relationships because I was afraid somebody would hunt me down if somebody left their spouse over their own revelations.
You don't want to be responsible for the...
I didn't want to be responsible for that, truthfully. And so I took the career path, and that's how I ended up coaching.
Have you ever thought of the sequel, Spelling It Out for Your Woman?
Yes, it would be one page. Like, what I say is what I mean. I think if the guy's version, that's the book.
What I say is what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, I can't say what I want to say at the moment in time.
But what he wants to say, he would mean.
Yeah.
See, that's the reality. And it's really based on the masculinity versus femininity. It could be, we're all on different, parts of the spectrum probably, but I'm anyway, there you have it. Enough on that.
I'll say what I was going to say. My XO in the Marine Corps, he had a saying I thought was quite funny, but quite humorous, maybe truthful to some degree. You can maybe elaborate. He said, women have all of these emotions. Okay. And, a million emotions on those on. Men have 2 emotions, hungry and horny.
Yep, pretty much.
So he would say, if I'm not horny, make me a sandwich.
Yep. Yeah.
Is that, what do you?
I heard it as make me a chicken pot pie, but whatever.
So that, for the record, I didn't say that. It's my XO in the Marine Corps. Yeah. You vile, foul pig of a man.
Yeah. And by the way, I don't agree with that, and it's not in my book like that.
You
so
do agree
there you
with
have
that?
it.
You kind of agree with
I'm
that?
not. No, I refuse to agree with that right now.
But Marine Corps, your husband is a Marine.
Yeah, 10 years in the Marine Corps. So
10 years.
He'll tell you 9 years, whatever, 11 months. He'll have it down to the minute.
Well, right, because he doesn't want to be, he doesn't want stolen valor. He wants exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
He did what in the Marine Corps?
Heavy equipment, operator, and he was in the Marine Corps before I knew him.
I was going to ask that.
So I didn't get schooled on the military really. Like, there are a lot of things I'm so interested in, and I'm so fascinated by the military. Love
So,
it.
actress from Hollywood meets former Marine.
Yep.
It's Marine always.
Always a Marine. Yep.
Right. And how does this go down? How do you two meet? And
That is definitely not for this show, probably. But no, but we met through friends. We met. We'll leave it as we met through friends, and yeah, hit it off, and just unquestionably, I could not stop thinking about him. And one thing led to it. Was a while before we dated.
Yeah.
But yeah, and one day, yeah, the rest was history.
You and Ellie have a lot in common. She met me, couldn't stop thinking about Babel.
Well, my husband does. Okay, wait, no, get this. So, I'm a career person, and my husband does the laundry. He does the cooking. He does he brings me coffee every morning. So, I mean, what's not to like?
I need a Mark. Don't you need a Mark?
Everyone needs a Mark.
That's his name, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need a Mark. Is Mark for rent?
I mean, if he had more time, depends on the price.
You've obviously met Mark. Good guy?
Yeah, Mark's a great guy.
Yeah.
Super good.
What else are you going to say? You're on air.
The Marines. So thank you for your service. My best friend Greg Ruth is a Marine. My grandfather is a Marine, 4th Marine Division, Iwo Jima. And so yeah, first and foremost, know quite a few Marines, and once Marine, always Marine. And yeah, thank you. And I wanted to go back to Julieanne, and you had mentioned earlier about like why people talk to Julieanne or why she's a good coach. And, right here, obviously, it's just the authenticity that she really, truly cares about, like the human experience and what makes us tick. And
yes,
and that's why we're business partners today, and why we, met many years ago, and why we continue to do what we do in our company. So, it's fun. Fun first, friends first, and then, business after that. And
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's like business will take care of, like I say with patients, you treat people right, the money will follow. Business doesn't matter. Yeah. I get that from you. Like I truly feel, and I hope you can feel it in the camera if you're watching. But if you ever get in your presence, you feel like an optimism for life. You feel just like energized,
That's, I don't even know. I'm like, I appreciate you so much. It's so thoughtful.
I do agree with that. And it is that calmness, that presence that, you can do anything and you can accomplish whatever you want to accomplish. But again, it's that calming influence and that, again, authenticity that you can do and be anyone you want to be.
You can teach psychiatry, psychotherapy, social work therapy, but you can't teach some things. Like they have to be learned in life and felt, right? Now, wait, for the record, do you have any education in therapy?
So, yeah, in fact, it's very interesting. So I've studied so many different facets of psychology. And I think that the part where I get the most benefit actually comes from child psychology. And, I've had 7 children through foster care. I have one daughter who's a biological. I've adopted 2 of my children. And so honestly, if you look at what happens with human beings through trauma and you start to learn how it affects the brain and you really start to understand how we form neural pathways and when we build our identity and all of that, it is really single-handedly the thing that creates the most change is when I deal with some of the people that I work with through the child psychology aspect of it.
Yeah.
So it's been phenomenal to learn about how we're impacted at certain developmental ages.
Oh, for sure. Childhood trauma is, it is vastly underappreciated. Okay. I mean, as a Marine and, I've got whatever stresses and traumas there. I got stresses and traumas in adult life, divorce, right? But I really think it all stems from childhood trauma and everything gets magnified in the adult life. And, we see this with veterans going through real PTSD. I mean, PTSD is real, but like severe wartime PTSD. And if you try to just cure the wartime PTSD, but you don't address the childhood trauma, they never get there. They never get, any degree of cured. There was actually a really great Netflix series about team members, SEAL team members that just came out. I don't know if you watched it. It's amazing.
I missed it,
but I need to watch it because they're going through their therapy and they go and they do some mushroom therapy, which I believe in wholeheartedly. I know some veterans that have been really cured from PTSD through this, but they can't get cured without addressing their childhood issues. And one thing that brings a lot of people in the military is childhood trauma. That's one bond that brings us all together. We're all escaping something. Yours truly included, and probably your husband.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Unquestionably. So it's interesting because what we carry with us into adulthood is stuff that has happened from our childhood that we stored in our brain as factual, when in fact, things were not necessarily factual when we were children. What happens when you're a child, let's say you're 5 years old and, your dad brings you, or you take your report card to your dad and you're like, look, I've got all A's. And he's like, oh yes, but 1B, what's this B? And a child can be traumatized by it. And it's never enough, but it's stored when they have no faculty to be able to give another possibility on what it means. Right. So it becomes fact, right? And you see this from very traumatic things to simple things like that. Right. And then you go into adulthood with that in your brain as though it's a fact, and you don't recall that that's there. Yeah. You just think and you become a certain type of person. You act a certain way to survive that situation when you're young, and then that happens again and again a couple more times. And that's all the stuff that we don't recognize in ourselves that we're carrying. And that's how we deal with all our problems. So thing after thing after thing. Why do you have two children in a home who have the same circumstances? One goes one direction, one goes another. It has to do with that developmental moment when the brain was ready to receive it and deal with it, Very
vulnerable moments that you don't even know. That's why I'm getting to go through parenthood again for the second time. And I'm very careful now. Very careful, so we have a 7-month-old and I have a, 23, 19-year-old. And, there were some things I'll talk on another episode, that I didn't have so much control over with the other two. Or maybe I did, or maybe I didn't. But, with now it's just like every little thing you got to watch.
So here's the news flash on this. So I love that you're so thoughtful, but at the end of the day, my father-in-law had a really good piece of advice. He was 93 on his deathbed, basically. And I asked him, I said, if you could boil everything down in life to one piece of advice, what would you tell me? He said, as a parent, you're going to go through life just trying to help your kid to not make the same mistakes. You're trying to give them a leg up. You're going to do all these things. And at the end of the day, he said, every human has to go through the human experience. And so it's like you offer it. Yeah. Completely. And he was just like, if I had it to do over, I would have just done it without the angst. Just offer. I put money away from my kids so that, not for college, but so that when they finally get to that age where they're ready to get therapy for wherever I traumatize them, they can just get the therapy.
Because it always does come back to mom, right?
It's probably me.
Us dads are just innocent bystanders always.
Yeah, right? You guys are perfect.
Freud knew it best. Mom. Right. So I think it's a fact, right?
Probably. I mean, if you got that message at 5, it's probably a fact. I'll just say
it's just where I stored it at that moment in devil.
Exactly.
Let's we're going to get somewhere because this is all on X podcast. So all in, all on X. So dental implants and going all in. All right. Because I believe the reason I call it that is I believe you don't do anything half-ass. Yeah. You have to put yourself immerse yourself in the situation to be successful. Right.
I agree.
How does this team do that? Influential Dental and this coach, Julieanne O'Connor.
Well, so I love it. You're so hysterical to me right now. But listen, we formed this company because we wanted to do the opposite of what we were seeing some people do in the industry. Right. And we wanted to just lift people up who were lifting other people up. So it wasn't to say, hey, we're influential. It was to bring those people who are influential and elevate them because they're helping other people, right? And so you take, All on X as an example, and, how you do anything is how you do everything. It's like wherever you go, there you are. And so if you really, are an expert at something and you really commit to doing right by your patients or whatever the case might be, then you're going to have a better home life too. Everything is affected by how you show up. And we're showing up with this stuff, and whether it's baggage or a commitment or like we were talking about integrity and these certain ways of being. And if you take that into anything you do, it's going to show up everywhere. And if you want to step into your potential, man, you got to do it everywhere. There's no, it's like, so when I coach people, it's like, if you're slacking over here, it's going to affect you over here, So.
And that's not just with the individual dentist or you, it's with your team as well.
Right.
So in our coaching and our teaching, or what we do is to take that ownership with the front of the house and the back. You're the receptionist or the hygienist, and especially with all extra big ticket items, you all need to be on the same page, and you all need to do it for all the reasons of you as the dentist and the owner, as well as the patient. And as Julieanne said, to do it with integrity, do it for the practice, and do it for the patient.
Yeah.
And everyone needs to be on the same page. So we really try to teach that and coach that in what we do every day.
I feel that. I mean, it's very real. It's very candid. It's very authentic. And that's, what I'm all about, is the integrity and authenticism of it. But coaching people to be better people, it's not just like, for the listeners out there, they're like, oh, it just sounds so clear. We all want to be good people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sure. Is that real? Absolutely. I think it has bottom dollar ramifications. I know doctors who are in it for all the wrong reasons, and they don't stay in it long. They're not successful. It's money, 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 implants, 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 implants.
Mm-hmm.
And they neglect the team. They forget to thank the team. They forget to love on the patients, and the team sort of, they see it. It's just like, well, this is unpurposeful in life, right? Is essentially, it sort of becomes a bad culture, right?
Yeah.
And the profits obviously tank, you can't do this without being genuine, right?
Yeah. And if you look at how elite teams, as an example, perform in any industry, honestly, even if you look at whatever, Google, or you look at any of these elite teams, and it's absolutely true in dental. And we've seen results that just would blow your mind in the dental space, where we go in and a team is so dysfunctional, and within 2 hours, you can turn that around, if you can believe that. But, at the end of the day, you've got to have this team that understands that you don't it doesn't have to look perfect. Sometimes it's messy, and some people are really intense.
Right.
That it's the authenticity and the trust factor that really build the elite team. And so, yes, you may want to have a white glove practice, okay? But that doesn't mean somebody can't have their personality. They can be very humorous. They can be very dry. It doesn't matter, as long as they're authentic and people can trust them.
Absolutely. I encourage our employees to be themselves.
Yeah.
In a very positive way. Like, identify, like, treat everybody, invite them into the practice like you were inviting in your friend, in your house. Like,
but you're an example, okay? Like, there are not a lot of guys who stand out in this industry like you stand out with authenticity. Okay, come on. In fact, this podcast is the most tame I've ever seen you right now. No, seriously, you post things sometimes where I'm just like, oh my gosh, and I eat it up because it's real.
I know you text me and you're like, calm down.
What are you doing?
Take a breath. Take a breath. Like,
no, but I love it.
I apologize. I don't know. I apologize, but I apologize for nothing.
Unapologetic.
Unapologetically apologetic. I don't know however that saying goes.
Yeah.
But, I'm sorry if it hurts your feelings, but maybe that's a trigger you have to get over from your childhood traumas.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I don't know.
But having a conversation.
Yeah.
People are people. You're treating human beings.
Yeah.
And especially with All on X, it is life changing.
Yeah.
So if you don't pour into what you're doing for the patients, and your team doesn't feel like everyone's on the same page, then at the end of the day, what are we doing?
Yeah.
It's not transactional. It truly is more than that.
Yeah. Do you think that, so I won't have to ask you, not about me, but do you think that my honesty comes off a bit aggressive or angry sometimes?
Here's what I would say. It's authentic, and human beings, they ebb and they flow, and we have emotions, and that's unquestionable. And look, I tell people, I got asked to speak last night, right? And I start my talks with, I am not for everybody. I'm just going to warn you.
Yeah.
But I am for somebody.
Right.
And, I can't tell you how many people have told me that I saved their life because I was authentic, and they realized that they were not alone in something, with respect to their practice or whatever the case might be. I believe we need that authenticity more. I think people are fronting and playing a part so much that we feel disconnected.
Yes, 100%. 100%. So about 2 years ago, I made it a point just to talk directly to the camera on social media, and just without all the like quick, the theatrical like production videos and the acts. I mean, I do think that there's a place for that. I think, on our social media, sometimes we do funny stuff.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Because people want to know that we have a sense of humor, but they also
Right.
want to know who the real Julieanne O'Connor is, who the real Michael Keeter is, right? They don't want to always be like totally entertaining, like it's a bunch of Looney Tunes. Right? Do you think we're still seeing too much of that in practice, like these entertaining?
I mean, again, I would almost say that there's somebody that's right for, right? And I just feel like we can't even almost compare. It's like everybody's got their journey, right? And I feel like we have to focus on our own path and what the gifts are that we have to give to people, because we each have our own ability. And, I don't judge anybody. I have a very, I have mastery over separating what is a fact from what is the story I tell myself about it. And everybody's walking around, living this life that has been passed down to them through language, and they're just doing what everyone's told them, to do essentially. And at the end of the day, I want to speak into existence the life I want to live. And that is not through comparison. It's like, I just want to, create this world because I'm the only one that gets to perceive it the way that I perceive it. And then I get to bring into my existence these amazing human beings who are having fun because they're authentic in a certain way. Other people find all that stuff funny and good. Yeah. So there's a place for all of it.
Yeah. Well, I agree. And it's about the humanness. And you brought this up and you brought that up. And it's about that connection, that authenticity. And at the end of the day, we're in a people helping business. Yeah. Right. Especially all on eggs. And this is what this is about, right? I mean, life and changing. And I've heard you speak about it. I've lived for many years with Noble Biochem, where we're doing it in Influential Dental, and Julieanne does it.
Hey, is that another 250 or what was that? That was another plug.
No, 750.
Okay, there we go. So just say
We need to talk more about Influential Dental and then not those other.
That's going to really rack up a bill.
Evan, get the rate cards ready.
Can we do a trade?
I think we are. I think we're technically doing a trade. Speaking of matter of business, the AAID is coming up in December 3rd, 4th?
5th and 6th. December 5th and 6th in Orlando.
Exactly what I said, December 5th and 6th.
Yeah,
I was getting corrected by a lady. December 5th and 6th. You didn't give me time. I was about to correct myself.
I like that you call me a lady. That's where I'm going to you had me at that. So go on. Go on. Sorry, carry on.
Sounds like a new song. You called me a lady. December 5th and 6th. You want to talk about Orlando?
Orlando, yes. American Dental Institute. We're doing their conference in Orlando, Florida, and you'll be there speaking. So thank you. And Julieanne and I will be co-hosting. And great people, great institute. Julieanne, would you like to share a little bit more about?
Yeah. So again, Dr. Teles and Dr. Campos, super good humans, and they put on a really good conference. You'll walk in, and they'll have, I don't know, a jazz musician or somebody playing. And it's just a lot of fun, really incredible speaker lineups, always sharing everything from All on X to dental implants to team alignment and so on and so forth. So
I didn't even know what it was when you asked me to come speak, but she looked into my eyes, she put me into a trance, and she said, would you like to come speak? And I said, yes. I didn't even know, but earlier we were recording this podcast, you had some friends walk by, and your aptitude for witchcraft came. And I was wondering if you put me into a spell, one, or a trance when I accepted that, and two, do you want to elaborate on your witchcraftery?
Yeah, so I didn't actually realize I had these skills until actually my friends came by and reminded me that. But no, and again, I'm really grateful when people say yes. My life literally is what it is because I said yes and to people saying, get on a plane, meet me here. And I didn't even ask what for. It was just somebody I trusted. And that led me to the next thing. And so I really am a firm believer that life unfolds when you deal with people you trust and you say yes and you show up. And sometimes you don't even know what that's going to look like or why you're doing it. And you're even going, what am I doing this for? Right. Which is what you're doing right now. And so
God puts us in places. And I mean, I totally believe,
unquestionably,
God puts us in places and all we have to do is say yes and then find out why. Right. I mean, I've been believing that my whole entire life. I could tell you some childhood stories. But yeah, you said, do you want to? I said, yes. I didn't even know what it was for. It's a newer organization, younger organization,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Smaller meeting, which I think is phenomenal. A couple hundred doctors probably.
Yeah.
Okay. You can meet the best people and have the best experiences in spa rooms, I believe, 100%.
Such good networking.
Yeah, for sure. And you've got some really great people coming. So thank you for the invitation. And I look forward to seeing you guys. If you're not registered, you should go to Orlando,
Yeah.
December 5th and 6th,
Yeah.
not 3rd and 4th like Julieanne O'Connor. December 5th and 6th.
ADI 2025.
.com, yeah, you can-
.com. And Influential Dental actually have a special code if they do it
Yeah.
between now and then for 50% off it.
Yeah, influential 50, I think. Yeah, they're welcome to use that. But yeah, it's going to be fun. We're going to have a lot of time, like a lot of time to network. What's that?
$10.
10 bucks.
10 more bucks? Okay. Perfect. Good.
I love it. But it'll be fun to hear you on stage and hear you speak. And they'll actually have a stage. Like last time, I don't think they had a stage where you were speaking. We just saw you like on the floor or something. I don't even.
You brought the stage in just for me?
Yeah,
And
so
they take the stage away?
that stage is there for you. And we'll actually, I think we're going to be podcasting there. So we'll get you on the podcast again when we're there. It'll be fun.
All right. Threats.
Yeah.
She's threatening me. Okay. How did you meet her?
Yeah, so I was with that company that I'm not going to say because I want to have some pay the fee to them. But no, I was with the company as a field sales representative, and they were a customer of ours, and went to help support a training that I would do for you if I was.
She was a customer of yours?
No, she was working for that institute.
For them.
And
Okay.
I walked in and then heard her speak, and she was kind of running the show as she does.
Yes.
And said, wow, again, I was in that trance as you are now.
Witchcraft.
And said, you know what?
I have such a bad name.
And we just hit off as friends. And then, as I progressed in that company, and I said, we need to work with her, and had her do some online trainings, and then we hired her to do some different events, and she spoke at this summit. And and then as I left that company, I said, you know what, we need to work together. And that's how Influential Dental was formed. So she'll probably tell the story as I'm the one that pushed her to join me. But I knew obviously she's going to take me places. So here we are.
Surround yourself with better people.
No, 100%. You want to literally, what do they say, the dumbest person in the room, or at least surround yourself with better people. And
I don't think they use the word dumb. Like, strike that from the
I'm going to
record.
call myself effective.
I want to be surrounded by more effective people.
I've been saying this. My gift is that I surround myself with people smarter than me.
Yeah,
I do the
Better than
same.
me. That way I can, elevate myself and elevate others around me, right? You find people that have shortcomings that that don't have your shortcomings.
Yeah.
Right? So you can complement each other well.
And
Yeah.
like Julia said, truly better together.
Right.
And I agree with that, whether it's relationship with vendors or other companies or just the company we keep. I truly believe that we can't all go further in a group setting. And I played, team sports throughout my life. And,
He was an Oregon Duck. You guys.
I know. We talked about duck hunting on the pod.
Oh, yeah.
What
See.
position?
offensive guard.
That's awesome.
So the protector of,
Yeah.
get things done. So, yeah.
I was the offensive guard in middle school football.
Really?
Yeah. And we
Claim
were
to fame.
city champs. And then I gained no more weight going into high school. And so that put me on second string somewhere else. But I loved that offensive guard spot when I was, when I had the bigger butt. For this,
So what are you saying?
Yeah, I was going to
you
ask.
need big butts.
Oh, thank you.
And my high school coach used to say that all the time. I need big butts. I need big butts. So for the blocking, he used to always say it. Hogan, step aside. You're not big enough.
Cannot lie.
Yeah, right. Sorry.
No, it's
big
great.
butts. I can't. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
You want to finish it?
No, I'm good. Yeah. Another time.
So I found Julieanne. We found each other, and it's a great partnership and a great friendship. And we always say that friendship first.
Yeah.
And that's how we formed the company. And we were friends for many years before we formed it. And I think that's what makes our bond and the company strong. What we're doing.
And you're absolutely doing some coaching as well. And,
I am.
And you coach together sometimes.
Yes.
Okay. What's your I don't want to say favorite because that kind of pigeonholes you into everything. You don't do anything else. But what's your typical consulting phone call look like? Is this just a dentist wanting to be better? Is it for their team? Is it for their organization? What kind of, or maybe it's something else? What do you guys?
Well, it's really interesting. It's a little bit varied. So we keep a short list of coaching clients, truthfully, and we absolutely do turn people down. My original, desire was to always work with, very, very much elite sort of, players in the space. You would qualify it for that. I have an Olympic client, an Olympic athlete who I'm coaching, who's coaching 2 more, Olympians. And so that was traditionally. And then what happened is people started coming to us that were not necessarily what you would call those elite players who are trying to, hit that next pinnacle. And also people come to me when they want to maintain their quality of life, right? So they coach on both. It's always simultaneously,
So I'm working too hard, not enjoying life enough.
And I want to hit big goals.
Or I want to hit bigger goals.
Both. They have to do both. Like they do both when they work with me. Right. But then we started having people come to us who have very dysfunctional teams and people who have are having very difficult times. And we've been sort of batting this around as of recently, because even in the last, 4 weeks, we're experiencing more people coming to us who are in dire straits with their companies, and we're trying to figure out, we can help these people. We know we can, but so much is mindset based, right? And so we're just trying to figure out, do we have space and capacity to help people who are in a dire position turn it around? Yeah. And sometimes there's risk with that because so
these people are financially strained.
It's financial, it's emotionally, and the suicide rate in this industry. So you can get where I'm going with this.
No, I understand. Yeah.
And so what do you do when these people come and you're trying to figure out, you don't meet my criteria. However, I want to help you.
And Julieanne and our company, we won't turn people away. We will address it. And then if we cannot help them, we'll hopefully find someone for them. And we're obviously coaches. We're not psychiatrists or psychologists. But the fact is, we want the industry and these people to succeed and their teams to succeed. And so
it's not difficult to identify what you can do to help people or what people can do for themselves to change the game. And meeting a goal is no problem, right? But handling the mindset side and the reason why people get into the situations they get into is another part of that. And that's the question is, you only have so much capacity as a coach. You're trading time for money and you only have so many hours and you still want to go home to your family. So that's where I especially have always cherry picked the people that I work with for a reason. And the people that I work with, you might not even know that they have a coach. Sometimes they have 3 coaches, and those are the people that you see on stages. They're writing books. They're doing incredible things in this industry and changing the game. But it's
okay to have a coach. Why is there so much stigma about a coach or a therapist?
Exactly.
Like people don't want to say, oh, I see a therapist. I've seen therapists for half my adult life. Yeah. No shame.
Absolutely.
I've told the world, we hired you as a coach.
Yeah.
I don't even know why. I think it was a trance. Witchcraftery. But get out of my head.
No, I mean, plenty of people who are like, this is my coach. I had somebody the other day and they were like, I did something on paper and they were like, see, that's my coach. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's so cute. Now I have a coach.
Oregon Ducks have coaches.
Yeah.
San Francisco 49ers have coaches.
Exactly.
Like
pros have coaches.
Why are dentists so afraid to hire a consultant?
Exactly.
Or a coach?
Not only for themselves, but for their teams. It's like, we'll get through it. Well, why? You can get a coach to come in and help you elevate. And that's
why would you want to do that?
Yeah.
I'm looking for doctors to open up full implant choices that they independently own and operate, and we just help them manage. And, they'll pay a very small fee for a ton of information.
Yeah.
Right. But to them, it looks like a big fee up front. And I'm like, do you realize that this would take you 20 years to figure this out? It is like so small. And they're like, you can do your coaching in a month or 6 months or 3 months, whatever the project. They'll tell you the problem and you'll probably tell them how long it'll take probably. Is that right? Is that kind of how you work?
We typically reverse engineer on a timeline from what their goals are. And then, if they're serious about their goals, then we're going to be able to get them there because, if anybody has done it, you can do it. Yeah. It's not a question of that. It's just figuring out what are the strategic things that you got to do. Yeah. However, what stops people is their mindset. They don't believe it. They don't see it. But when we reverse engineer on a timeline, we can start to show them. And if it's still important, hey, if you got to outsource some things or you got to do some certain things, but you know you're going to hit this goal, you're going to do it. You're going to do whatever it takes if you really want that goal to be met.
This is a military skill and probably one I learned in childhood. Like, I'm flying out here. I need to be and the airplane leaves at 5 o'clock. It boards at 4:30. I need to be there at 4 o'clock. I need to get up at 3:30. Like, it's that reverse engineering timeline I think we've been doing our whole life. It's a huge military check, by the way. That and checklists will get you SPAR. Agree.
I agree.
But why? So I don't even know, like, your fees. I mean, I've kind of have some idea, but I'm sure it varies based on what you need to do. But a few $1,000s a month or so, or maybe more, even 10, would it not translate into savings of $1 million of mistakes?
That's the key. You can tie that. Look, I have coaching clients. I do a contract for a year in the beginning, and then they've been coaching with me for years. Why? They wouldn't do that if it didn't affect their bottom line, if they did not see ROI. You can tie everything to results. That's not a problem. And it's very, very interesting. So I even did this with my daughter. So when we were talking just a bit ago, right before the podcast, right, they were talking about, your daughter's story, right? So my daughter decided for her 8th grade school project that she wanted to buy a house. Okay. Now other kids were like doing art projects, right? And I was like, I can't tell her she can't buy a house, like, because that would not be a very good coach, mommy, Yeah. And so I said, I'll tell you what. And I just like breathe through it. I'm like, I will coach you like I coach my high achievers.
Yeah.
And we did the same thing. We said, okay, you got to present by May. It's October now. We're going to reverse engineer it. You have to have closed escrow by this date. You're obviously going to have to put it on my credit. So it's got to qualify there. You're going to need to put 25% down because you're going to have to do it as an investment home because I already own a home. You're going to need a mentor. You're going to need this. And we reverse engineered. She bought a condo. My kid was 14 and she bought a condo.
What?
My kid bought a condo.
Does a kid have to sell?
Exactly. How the heck did she buy a condo? She bought a condo because she didn't believe it was not possible. Okay. And I did not. I'm secretly
serious.
I'm absolutely serious.
I know.
And my daughter's 16 now. She owns a condo. It's Airbnb'd out. She bought it with all the furnishings already ready to Airbnb. But literally, I'm not kidding you. It was so easy for her because she didn't think it was not possible. She just saw on a map, I have to do this and this. And strategically, she had to figure it out. There was no question about it. People are so shocked by that, but it's not shocking.
Lord. I'm amazed.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I could have bought a candy bar at 14 years old. I don't even.
Right?
All the offices don't think what they can achieve.
Yeah.
That's why they come in and really tell them systematically on what you can achieve.
Yeah.
And so many people in offices can do so much more than they ever dreamed of.
Yeah.
Whether it's opening multiple practices, whether it's, adding $1 million or $2 million revenue onto their practice.
Yeah.
But let me tell you the funny part. I just have to interject. So secretly, okay, I have my own blocks, right? And secretly, I was looking on my phone for a trailer like that I could park in the front yard because I was like, I got to help her complete this project, and I didn't necessarily believe that it was possible for my 14-year-old kid because it's not true. So imagine had I projected that on my child, she would not have bought a condo.
Right.
But I was like, no, my kid has her own perspective. We're going to see what she does with it, and I never showed her that I was looking at these trailer houses, and she bought a condo, you guys, and she owns it still. It's Airbnb'd out, and at 18, she can sell it or move into it. It's adorable. It's right next to Coachella, she can.
I think I want to hire your daughter. Is she available?
She's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's 16. I don't know. You told me. Okay. So, oh my gosh, I have to tell you a funny story about you. So you told me what you did with your kid. Okay. I don't know if this is okay to say, but.
Which one? Okay.
So with the door coming off the hinges because she said,
I know the story.
Yeah.
my daughter had been slamming that door for so long. And after I had that conversation with you, I went to her. I went right out
So I took the door off the hinge. Yeah.
I just said, honey, I have this new client. He was in the Marines, but he obviously didn't report to all women like your father who says, yes, ma'am, to you.
Uh-huh.
So here's the thing is he had this really brilliant idea and he just took the hinges off when his daughter slammed the door. And I just want to let you know that I'm very, very serious that the next time you slam the door, I'm going to take the hinges off for 1 week and you're going to protest.
Uh-huh.
You're going to be mad all week and it's still going to stay off.
Yeah.
And then I'll put it back on and we'll see what happens. And she has not slammed that door since.
That's perfect.
Not once.
That's perfect. They need consequences that are very real.
Yeah.
Oh, you should have seen the look on her face when we were in her room and she was like theatrically like, I have no privacy, nowhere to change. I'm like, change to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Go to the bathroom. I want to talk on the phone. What do you got to say on the phone that I can't hear?
Exactly.
Oh, now do I have to worry about the phone?
Exactly.
The door is still off for 5 more days.
Exactly.
You know, we didn't have a problem with the door slamming.
That's another thing. It's integrity, right? Is you say that you're going to do something, you follow through. And what most people lack is they lack integrity with themselves. So they say that I'm going to work out, and all they do is beat themselves up about it. But you only have right now. So if you're going to
head right now, I do that every day.
But all you can do is pick up the weight when it's right in front of you. And if you have the commitment to yourself, you'll do it if it's right in front of you in the now. But you can't do it in the future or the past. So why do we beat ourselves up? Stress is manufactured.
So never tell yourself no. Everything is achievable.
You might tell yourself no to some things. I mean, it's all relative.
Well, you have to fight through that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But everything is achievable.
Absolutely.
With a goal and a plan, reverse engineered through Julieanne O'Connor and Michael Keeter.
250.
Yeah.
and endorsed by Dr. Hogan. It's like, you're like my greatest.
I am endorsing, and you're not paying for this, and I'm not asking you for any money. So just for the record, this is all genuine and authentic because I like these people, and I think they do a good job. And so in case I don't say it later, how long have we been on? Yeah, I don't know. But just for the record, I think you do a phenomenal job. The way that I've identified with you and you've helped me, the way that my wife has identified with you and you've helped her, the way you've helped us together, the way you've helped members of our team in just such a short time, it's profound. And so I want to go on record saying I vouch for your services and your authenticity. I think it's absolutely amazing.
That means the world. Thank you.
And if you go and try to hire her, do not pay her more than I'm willing to pay her because I still need her to stick around. Okay. So,
I'm keeping you. Don't worry. You got nothing to worry about.
Do not raise my rates. Okay. Because I want to keep you around for a long time.
Thank you.
As a friend.
Means the world.
What else haven't I asked? So husband has tattoos.
Yes.
As he would. He's a Marine. A lot of tattoos.
Yeah, he's covered.
I have a few.
Yeah.
I have a lot.
Somebody pointed it out to me the other day.
What do you mean?
They were like, Dr. Hogan, yeah, he's got a lot of tattoos. We didn't know what to think about that. I can't remember who it was, but I'll think of it after. They did. It was a company, a corporation. I'm not even kidding. And I think I was talking to them about sponsorship or something.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. We'll come back to that. But yeah,
let's talk about this.
I was so shocked. I was like, really? Did you just say that? Do you know what year it is?
It's 2025, man.
I was so shocked. And oh my gosh, if they're listening, I feel horrible right now.
No, that's okay.
But it was just,
give you.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I don't have a tattoo.
That's okay.
But I'm not a bad person. And
you're
I'm
not.
fine with people who have tattoos.
I really want you to get a tattoo, though.
Don't take this the wrong way, but statistically speaking, according to literature, psychology studies at places like Harvard, Yale, University of Michigan, Berkeley, all the crazy wacko psychology schools. You can trust with people with tattoos more. They're more likely to tell the truth because they don't care. Very nice. Second instinct. So one tattoo?
No.
Were you about to?
Got a couple.
You got more? Okay. Oh, do you have that tattoo?
Don't even say it. Don't even say it. Where were we the other day? We were walking with like a whole bunch of professionals, and somebody said something about the tramp stamp, and and I know I said it, and I just went and I turned and I went. And I was like, they were like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry."
My wife has one. Allie, you have one. Whatever. It's awesome. It's absolutely amazing. But no, they say that people with tattoos, because you can trust what they say as being genuine and authentic because they really don't care what you think. Because like, you want to judge me for my tattoos? You really don't know me.
Yeah,
but that's,
exactly.
But I'm more likely to be honest, according to these university studies. And I think there's a lot of truth in that. And I know you're a truthful person, Michael. So it's not about you. That sounds like a wonderful place to stop. Michael, any other words?
No. I agree. Yeah. And as you brought up before, Julieanne is an amazing person to work with. You've seen that in your practice and with your wife. I see it as an amazing business partner and friend as well. So I would encourage, and I've learned a lot as well, is you're responsible for your happiness and to step in that potential. And it is about elevating others. And I've learned that along the way as well. And that's why we came together as well and lives. And no, thank you for the opportunity to be here. And I'm obviously very excited to see where your relationship goes with Juliana as
And
your
you,
coach and your company. And obviously, as we work together as well. So, again, love your podcast and love it.
and you as well. And God brought us together in the courtyard for coffee, and it accidentally turned into this.
Amazing.
And I thank you for coming up here and doing this. And
Yeah.
this space is
Here we
absolutely
are.
perfect for this conversation. Don't forget, closing out ADI December 5th and 6th in Orlando, Florida. We'll all be there. You can meet us in person. If you want to reach out to Influential Dental, how would the best way to be?
Yeah, so influentialdental.co, and you can subscribe to our magazine Influence for Dental Professionals. It's the first lifestyle and mindset magazine, and you have an article in it right now. So if somebody subscribes right now, you can read your article, which is hysterical, the way you titled it. I'm just going to let you look it up in order to see that, but it's definitely worth reading. And
I forget what I wrote.
yeah, and all our social and everything is on the website. So yeah, very easy to find us.
Perfect. And the last Atlantic Implant Institute, by the way, we have courses for full arch from A to Z. We've got 5 modules, about to add a 6th. Boot camp is in January, and that kicks off the continuum. So if you want to sign up for boot camp, that's late January. Dr. Athena Godarzi is going to be my co-faculty there.
Woo!
And we have Cadaver Lab in there as well. That's included. So look us up and shoot us a message if you want details. But we're filling that class and the continuum now as we speak. So don't hesitate. Sign up soon.
And you're one of the best speakers and trainers that I've ever listened to. Sincerely. It's funny. I have gone to so many lectures, so I can't even imagine how much fun it would be to learn from you. So yeah, I absolutely encourage people, and I have seen it all in this with training institutes. And so you absolutely have to attend this. If you're looking for this training, go check this guy
So you
out.
think I should charge way more?
I don't know what you charge. No.
Say yes. Say yes.
And
Yes.
first of all,
Say yes.
no matter what, you are getting a deal. I promise. You are getting a deal.
So sign up before we raise the rates like Julieanne O'Connor recommended. Okay, because we're going to keep them there for a short time.
Yeah, it's actually true. Actually, we're going to come back to that. That is probably going to happen. So, but there's a lot of reasons why that is. So yes, do sign up.
I like the way you consult. I like this.
Just saying.
This is going well for me. And who says that a bunch of talking and consulting can't help your bottom line?
Exactly.
Yeah. Sign up now while rates are still low.
All right.